Good morning and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here today with Josie and Fred, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is her ability to understand and respond to her formal obedience commands, the correction and the motivation that we give the puppies when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded in his right hand. That leaves the left hand free to give any correction that's needed, and the only correction is a little tug and release on the training collar. And that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Josie's going to come home with her very own training collar, and you're going to be taught how to use that properly during your follow-up training session. Now she's sitting very nicely at Fred's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. The command is Josie, heel, and at this point Josie has a job to do, and that is to walk right next to your left leg when you're walking her and sitting automatically when you stop walking. So she's always well under control at your left side, paying attention to you, and when you stop to cross the street or talk to a neighbor, she's sitting nicely at your left and waiting for her next command. And she's trying to do the DOWN, but that's not what we're doing. Now the next exercise that Fred's going to demonstrate for you is the stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, it is a one-word command. Now he's correcting her because she's supposed to be sitting, and she's not sitting. So he's making her sit and stay. But you can see that every command that we do here is all about her being under control. When Fred returns back to her, as an additional distraction, he walks all the way around her and returns all the way back around to heel, and he gives her a little pat for praise, and at this point she's ready to get another command, and they take off heeling again. There's a little pep in her step. So all of these commands we're going to teach you how to use in your everyday living situations so that you always have a well-mannered girl instead of the wild girl that you came to me with almost in tears. She's come a really, really long way. Fred gives her another sit, stay, and you're going to practice these commands right in your house because indoors as well as outdoors is where you are having problems. So we want you to practice your commands indoors as well as outdoors. Now this time Fred is going to call her, and this is the recall or the come on command. She comes right in front and sits facing Fred's knees, and then she goes back to heel position. So that eliminates her coming and jumping all over you. She comes and sits. She's really done a good job, Diane. I think you're going to be really proud of her. Then I know that you and she are going to have a great life together. Fred leaves her in another sit stay. He's going to demonstrate that recall exercise again for you. He uses her name, a happier tone of voice. She comes right in and sits immediately facing his knees. Then she returns back to heel and back sitting on her own. Very nice. Now the next exercises that we're going to get ready to show you are her down commands, and there are two of those. There's down from a heel position and down from a distance. So with your dog seated at your left at heel position, you're going to take your left open palm, push it straight down toward the ground, and give the one-word command to down and stay. Your long down stay, when you're practicing at home, you're going to start out at about 2 minutes. You're going to work up to 5 minutes. When Fred returns back to her on this command, he will walk all the way around her just as he did on the sit stay as an additional distraction. When he gets back to heel, he gives her another command. I mean, I think this is a far cry from the other Josie, the wild, crazy puppy, confused with what her job was, Josie. So remember, always have her sitting first, left open palm, straight down toward the ground, the one-word command to down and stay. And I want you to have fun with these exercises. She enjoys working, so we want her to have a job to do. This time Fred's gonna call her in. Praises her as she's coming in. Coming to you should always be a good but under control experience. She goes back to heel and back sitting. What a good girl. Now the next exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is your down from a distance. This is a little bit harder command to teach because you're not right next to the dog. I'm going to turn her around, Fred. She doesn't want to do it anymore. So that's what you do when she doesn't want to do it anymore and you're not finished. You make her complete it. Fred's going to leave her in a sit stay.
No.
She says it's hot out here and I don't want to do this anymore, but she has to complete it. One more exercise. He's going to leave her in a sit stay. He's going to turn to face her. Walk out to the end of his training leash. You use the right hand to give the command. And she lays down. Very nice. Now we have demonstrated for you all of Josie's formal obedience commands. It took 6.5 minutes to completely wear her out doing obedience training with her. It exercises her brain, it gives her a job to do, it keeps you top dog, all the things that you were lacking when you brought her here. She's done a fabulous job here at school. She's a smart girl. We've enjoyed having her, and thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.